Good afternoon once again, great BIAFRANs, humanity at large from all nook and crannies of the globe. We are your faithful servants, the IPOB truth bearers, bringing our voice to you from our various locations. And it is all about torchlighting the matters arising, highlighting them, and analyzing those that should be analyzed, but on the foundation of nothing but the truth. The world is a wicked world. As I always tell you, the world is ruled with lies, deceptions, manipulation, tyranny, intimidation, humiliation, and even murder. How can ECOWAS begin to demand help assistance from European Union to crush Niger? That is an African organization demanding that the European Union should help them to crush an African nation. Can you imagine that? But can it happen that the European Union will seek help from ECOWAS or the entirety of Africa to crush any of the European Union, no matter what? To me, it doesn't happen. It had never happened before, and I don't see the possibility of it happening. That is to tell you that what we tell you that of the African leaders are slaves to the colonial power, that is real. This is just a strategy to calling their slave masters to come and take over what really belonged to them, but originally belonging to us, the Africans. We have been telling you that all of the people ruling us, not only the ECOWAS, the majority of the African leaders from the highest to the top level of leadership, they are all stooges. They are vassal leaders to the imperialists, vassal leaders to the colonial power from different countries. Today they came to Spain to seek for the help of the European Union to help them to crush Niger. But can anybody tell me anything wrong that the Niger have committed by seeking their freedom? But these are the people who have collectively for centuries entrapped Niger, likewise the rest of the African countries, under their slavery, extorting us, exploiting our resources, weaponizing poverty against Niger and against the entirety of Africa, and using our own indigenous people, those who are willing, the willing tools, who are willing to remain slaves and drag others, the rest of us, to submit to the slavery to the colonizers. This is exactly what is happening. So it is sad indeed, and we cannot continue this way. The change has begun, and we thank God because our work is progressive. When I began this platform, I always let you know that our duty here from the time I was alone and now we are as a group, that it is all about psychological development, that I am building a generation who will be revolutionary thinkers. Revolutionary thinkers, everything that has to do with liberation, everything that has to do with revolution must come from the mind. And anybody who is not a revolutionary thinker cannot be a freedom fighter. And that is the reason many who have started the freedom journey with us have fallen out along the way. Some of them may grab on huge amount of money. Money can be their distractor. Position of leadership can be the distractors of many people. Then a low IQ and the lack of vision may be the distraction of other people. But the reason we are consistent is because we have revolutionary mind. We are revolutionary thinkers, and we foresee the dangers of any inappropriate action or step. that are approaching, so that we know how to avoid it, considering the negative consequences they will bring upon those who venture to deal with it. So that is the reason, no matter how we are pushed, we cannot fall. And that is the reason many people run away from us, because they do not understand the level of realm we are operating. I always say that even if it is not now, I am building a generation that is building the informations, educations for generations to come. Generation does not mean those who are only to be born later on. I mean those who are still younger, or those who are adults, but they have not come to this understanding. Whenever they will be coming across this kind of information, they will be getting their medulla oblongata filled with sensitivity, and from that sensitivity they'll begin to foresee the importance of freedom, and the knowing that the freedom we are looking for is more valuable than even all of our resources and the resources of humanity all over the world put together. Freedom is more valuable than any property, any amount of money, or political or whatever position anybody may possess. That is the reason we sleep with the mentality of being free. We wake up with it, we drink with it, we bath with it, we wear it as clothes, and we have come to believe that we can never do without it. May God bless you. As I'm about to pass the microphone to my comrade, I am your serviceable servant, Evangelist Imakalo Helen from Ohafia in Abia, and the domiciled in the city of Valencia, Spain, from where my voice is echoing to the entirety of humanity all over the world. Mama Patricia, over to you. Take up the microphone, speak to Biafrans, speak to Africa, speak to the world at large, and speak to them like a mother and educator. God bless you. You have muted yourself, I think. Can start afresh.
Yeah, thank you, Collins, and God bless you for this privilege to be here to speak to our people, as we always do, and will continue to do. No turning back, no retreat, no surrender. Because our leader, who is at the forefront, have never and will never retreat. That is why God has instructed us to be here. That is why we are doing what we are doing, because the truth is the only weapon that will crush these things that we are seeing, this inhumanity treatment to man, this Western global terrorist conspiracy, and whatever they call it, against the people of Biafra and other nations of Africa. Thank God that what our leader, the calling of our leader, has finally yielded the fruit that God sent him to do. You know, as a sower, as the parable says in the Bible, a sower went out to sow. Some fell on the rock, some on the sand, some the birds took it. But the seed finally got down to the good soil, and it yielded abundantly. And we have also known, Biafrans, being that we are children of God, children of light, that democracy, not the Western democracy this time, because we found out that the democracy they handed over to the Africans was a scam. They came and exchanged the good thing that we had from God, from immemorial. They came, they saw us to be united, you know, rich, and we are having nothing to lack. They tried all they could They couldn't get anywhere. And they went back to rearrange themselves and came in with a false democracy, false religion, false everything. And then they deceived us. Today, we have paid a very huge price of letting the enemies that we were laughing at of their ignorance, as Chinua Achebe, our Biafran heroes, wrote, that the white men came and we saw them as, funny people that have nothing that will make us to be scared of. And we just let them to be. And in letting them to be, they got into us and begin to devour us, to destroy us. And when they somehow pretended to leave, they now left us with another like them, the Fulanis Janjaweed. The vagabonds that when God was creating and giving men the inheritance, he didn't give to them because they were cursed from the beginning. Now they have realized that we have to find a resting place. And that resting place will only work when the indigenous give it to them as we gave to the white world, to the Western world. But today, thank God that Africans are waking up. They have finally gotten the message, the truth from us. And it makes me happy that the sacrifices of that man of God, that prophet of God, that it wasn't in vain. It makes me happy and to confirm that God is God. He never sets out to do a thing and man will come to rub shoulders with him. When he woke up Mazi and prepared him like Moses, everyone was sleeping. Those who later came to join, came to mock him. But they didn't know that the seed he was sowing will today germinate what we are seeing now. Africans are getting the shackles off them. And I thank God for what Burkina Faso, Niger, Mali, and the rest of them have. It doesn't matter what this Cameroonian and what is the other name?
Gabon.
Kayando of what is that nation again? The two of them that decided to reshuffle their military men to avoid the coup. But they have forgotten that there is time for everything. That this time now, it doesn't matter how you build and how you organize your military men. If God does not build a nation, in vain do the builders struggle to build it. If God does not watch a nation, in vain does the watchers keep awake to protect it. Their strongholds have been removed from them. Their strength has been removed from them. Their wisdom has been removed from them. By who? By the truth of God's word, because God hates evil, hates injustice, hates iniquity, which we have found all around us. Just like my colleague was just saying a few minutes ago, saying ECOWAS, begging European nations to come and help them fight against Niger. Can you just imagine the impudence, the arrogance, the stupidity? You've been in a nation and you've stole and killed and maimed and left them in abject poverty. And when the people finally woke up and said enough is enough, and you are still insisting to be there, that shows you that the same thing that happened to Egypt when Pharaoh hardened his heart, this time it is a battle of the highest, God, and the iniquitous men, which are the France, the Britain, the America, even the European nations, whoever they are, among also the Africans, the stooges that they have created. So I want to make it clear to us Because as by their fruits we shall know them, we know that. If ECOWAS is asking help from Europeans to come and fight against their own men, their own brothers, which the Western world will never do, doesn't that make it clear to us that ECOWAS itself is not anything called African Initiative? ECOWAS has nothing to do with African Initiative. Just like they appoint these rulers to come and guide the wealth that is not theirs, so that they too can join together to share it and step on the innocent men and women and children and build their castles upon them. For them to do this, that shows us that ECOWAS wasn't initiative of the African Union or African people. It was created by the Western world, giving it that name, the same scam and fake name they normally do in bringing us democracy. And we jump into their fake democracy. As Nigerians, we are now independent nation with other nations around us. It wasn't any independence. It was all scam. And God at the right time sent Maz and said, my servant, come. I will send you like John the Baptist. I will send you like Jesus Christ. Come and go and open the eyes of these blind men. Open their eyes, heal their mind. Let them know that once you know who you are, once you know your identity, once you know what God has given to you, once you know your inheritance and stand for it, God will join you and fight for you. So it's no more time to come and sit down and negotiate, come and sit down and talk, it is by force now, force. As John the Baptist said it. It is by force. Anybody standing on the sideline, anybody thinking it is by prayer of these fake pastors, know you that all of them are together. They put on the robes of the angel, deceiving you, making you to stay cool. Biafrans, it's time you march on. You get up from all corners. If you were putting before 10%, add it to 100 on top of the 10%. Any amount of effort you think you were having, increase it. Because these things that our African brothers and sisters are doing, we are supposed to be the one on the lead. But God has seen it that once he wants to do a thing and he doesn't see any man ready to grab it, he will pick a stone. He will pick a stone to do the job. But it's time we have seen it now. It's clear, glaring in our eyes. ECOWAS was not African initiative. It was the Western world that created it. That is why they are fighting against their brothers who have been sick and dead in poverty. And they want to get up. Some of them to join together to help them. They want the Europeans to continue. But God here will do to them what he did to Pharaoh. My name is Patricia, and I'm from Biafra land, Anambra. And what our leader, the light he handed over to us, the truth, the bullet, and any weapon cannot conquer. But finally, we'll come to the top. That's where what we're doing, and we'll continue to do. Following those who know the road, following the what PM of Biafra, Simon Epa, is doing. Following very soon. If they don't release our Mazi, as the PM said, the Biafran government in exile, because that's where we take our orders now. We have nothing to do with the Nigerian terrorist rules or command in Biafra land. If they don't release our Mazi from now until the 15th of this month that we are in, then we'll rub the shoulders with them. We'll rub it with them, because Biafra land is not for terrorists. It's not for them, foreigners. It's for the indigenous. So we are heading down there. Thank you. I hand the mic over to you.
God bless you. That's a very wonderful one. So great Biafrans, Africans, and humanity at large, we are listening wherever you are located from all around the world, and more especially the lovers of freedom. So it is all about we freeing ourselves. We have lots of responsibility to execute, because it has come to a proper understanding that the oppressors are not willing to let their captives go just like that, because they milk the captives dry. They make the captives dry. We are their source. They make us that is the source of their income, their hub of their income, which they believe they cannot do with. So they cannot do without. So for us to be free, we have to make move to freeing ourselves, and God empowers us to accomplish that. Over to you, veteran. Speak to Biafra, speak to Africa, speak to humanity at large concerning the affairs of events of this time around. Also introducing yourself, speak to them as a father and also as a great mentor. Have the microphone, veteran.
Thank you, Imakalo.
God bless you, really
Thank you,
good.
my comrade Mama Patricia, the lioness, who will continue to roar. We will continue to roar. Great Biafrans, lovers of freedom, wonderful and beautiful people. I salute you wherever you are residing in this planet Earth. May the good Lord continue to encourage you and to boost you with that mind of revolution which we need today. My hero, Mazin Namdekano, I greet you, I salute you. You are indeed the hero of our day. I salute you, Mazin Simon Ekpa, for continuing in this work. I salute you, every good Biafran that is working towards this goal. Every true Biafran that is consistent and passionate about this goal, this God-given goal, the freedom of Biafra and the freedom of Mazin Namdekano. Do not be distracted. Stand tall, stand firm. O ye generation of Biafrans, this generation of Biafrans, you know, I've always mentioned you because the ball is on your court. Because our leader, Mazin Namdekano, has inspired us and has insisted that we be revolutionary minded. We ask questions. We reason. Because it is only in asking questions, in reasoning, that we can achieve our goal. Gideon, we know, was given the assignment to go and liberate his people because he was passionate about his people. He asked questions and asked questions that moved God. And God said, Gideon, now go in this march. God has placed this good revolutionary thought in our mind. Through his servant, Mazin Namdekano, he has called for revolution all over Africa. He called for revolution. He asked us to oust these people that are infiltrating, to oust these thieves, these criminals that come to pauperize us, that come to enslave us. I remember when we were growing, and there was this Bob Marley and the rest of the reggae singers. They were revolutionary minded, and all their songs were revolutionary. And these machineries that were formed against Africans had to do away with most of them. As they were singing these songs, these revolutionary songs, we, the stupid ones, were only interested in going to dance reggae. Hey, I'm the best reggae dancer. I'm the best reggae singer. Without asking questions, without reasoning, without taking their words for action. They were calling for action, and we were there stupidly laughing. Free yourself from mental slavery. And we still are mentally slaves, which is the worst thing that can happen to any man, any individual, any nation. Mental slavery, psychological slavery, intellectual slavery. We saw what physical slavery brought to us. And this was why these men were calling for this liberation, for this revolution. And we, like the stupid people we are only interested in the rhythms. Something has happened again. Our leader, Jim Odumegwu, called for this revolution. But the slaves, those who profit from slavery, those who sold us to Arab people, those who sold us to Africa, to America and Europe, continued to betray this noble cause. And the same has happened again. The noble cause, clarion call for revolution, which our leader, Mazin Namdekano, was sent to do. We still betrayed it, and we are still betraying it. Those who are slaves by blood, by nature, by thinking, by everything, continue to misguide us. And we, the present generation of Biafrans, still hang around them, still dance the dance of stupidity and foolishness. But one thing I assure you, I will pray Solomon's prayer, rather Simeon's prayer, because I will be alive to see Biafra. And when I see it, I will go and tell my brothers gone before, the heroes of Biafra. I will go and tell them, those things we died for, those things you died for, that thing you died for, I saw it before I came to join you. I must do it. I will be alive and see Biafra. So I pray you, great Biafran, this generation of Biafrans, guide your loins. Fight the battle. Do not fear. Do not be afraid to sacrifice, to make any sacrifice. Because whatever sacrifice we make will be recorded in the sands of time. You can see African countries. Those who had from our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, those who had from Lumumba, and most of these people that are speaking, talking, they are now standing up and up, stopping the criminals who come to carry away everything we have for their own good, who come to enslave us the more, who create all sorts of machinery, OAU, ECOWAS, name them, CIA, name them, that and that and that. These are all machinery to bring down Africans. So, as many as they are creations of America, creations of Britain, creations of Europe, to bring Africa down. None of them is African. None of them is true. They are all falsehood. But I know that somebody is also coming who will stop all this rubbish. Donald Trump. He is coming up again because he is also, I see him as a godsend. He will come back to join us in this battle of crushing all these organizations, criminal organizations instituted by the Western world to frustrate Africa. Is it not sad that they will recruit their people? Like our leader said, the fall of Arochukwu was achieved by recruiting us, the blacks, the Africans. The same is happening again. They have recruited the idiots who call themselves leaders, and they are ganging up, going back to their masters, like those from Biafra land, go back to Abuja to tell them to bring their weapons, their aeroplanes, their whatever, to come and fight those they call their brothers, those they say they are leading. It's the same thing. You can see it. This was to go to EU to call for help. Let them bring their war plane and everything. Just like they went to call them to come and kill Gaddafi. Fellow Biafrans, let us not fold our hands. We've listened enough, we have talked enough. Join Mazi Simon Ekpa in this revolution that he is leading. It's a very great revolution. And this is what we need, to chase away all those idiots from our land, to liberate our land from Fulani and the colonial bloods. let them go and join them there if they are still alive. But for me, I would prefer that they are, in fact, sent to judgment. All of them, all the politicians, all the governors, they are all Oluwole, all the exes. When Ikweche was instituted in Owerri, he was doing all sorts of things, the bidding of his master. And Eze Jemase warned him, Ikweche, Nakweche, Ikweche, Nakweche. So, Biafrans, let us join hands together and carry out this great revolution. It will do us good. Thank you very much. I am Honor Silas from Umuleka Nibo in the old Olu province of Biafra land.
Collins.
Oh, yes. God bless you, veteran. That's a wonderful one. Very, very good. Very, very good. We are going to pray. Praying with our leader, Mazen Namdekano.
And now let us pray. It came at a time when Yahweh Jesus Christ of Nazareth to Christians, and they said to him, Rabbi, teach us how to pray. And that same prayer is a very common prayer, and that is what I shall pray this evening, because contained in this very prayer are hidden and very deep meaning, which those of them that have decided to commercialize Pentecostalism have, should I say, confidently forgotten. Therefore, this very night, I ask for the blessing of heaven to be upon every seeker of truth, everybody who speaks the truth, regardless of the consequences we do over here. They asked Yeshua, how do we pray? And he said, our Father who art in heaven, acknowledging the supremacy of one living God, not two, not three, not four, not five, indivisible, eternal, glorious, indestructible, timeless, forever and ever. From time to time, from generation to generation, he changeth not. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Hallowed be thy name. That name that is exalted above every other name is that of Hashem in heaven. That is why Jesus said, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come on this earth as it is in heaven, as it was in the kingdom of Biafra before darkness descended, as it was in the blessed land of Israel before they asked for a king in Saul. Thy kingdom come on this very earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, not private jets, not mansions, but give us enough to sustain us. Give us this day our daily bread. I don't know why men abandon why they abandon the truth and begin to worship the God of mammon, the God of money, the God of gold, the God of silver, and the God of diamonds. Give us this our daily bread. mansions, not wealth, not ostentatious living. We have no other God apart from thee. Yeshua prayed this prayer that all are forgotten. Let thy will be done on this earth as it is in heaven, always and forever. We call upon your grace upon our lives, that your light may shine as it did shine during the time of Yeshua. Deliver us from evil. Only you can forgive sins. Only you, Almighty God in heaven, can deliver. Not man, nothing else. Not any graven image. Only thee. All power, honor, and glory is yours. Jesus said to God in heaven, all honor, glory, and adoration is yours forever and ever. He said, whenever I try to teach, I teach subjects that are incontrovertible. To have economic growth, the country will do very well. But Britain doesn't want it. Being supplied by the military, as you're going to listen to later on. But nothing happens. When you try to fight back, you become the victim. And we are saying we are fed up of being victims. We can no longer be victims anymore. If you kill us, we will kill you. I'm saying it live on video, so you can share the video all over the world if you want. If you come to our land to kill us, we will kill you. As simple as that. It may take us some time, but eventually we'll overwhelm you. Well, in the end, we always win. As I warned them in Benue, we are in Benue. In all of our communities in Benue State, and we're not living there until we are certain that the lives and properties of our people there are firmly secured. Any day we learn to stop blaming the victims, this world will be a better place. I'm directing these very statements to the US Ambassador, to the UK High Commissioner, to the EU presence in the zoo, and the UN as well. I know all of you will do nothing. We are not Muslims, so you're not going to help us. That's obvious. We know that for sure. But we have something that you do not have. We have the grace, the might, and protection of God Almighty in heaven. And we know that God exists. And as long as He liveth, as my name is Nnamdi, my Redeemer liveth, as long as God lives in heaven, all of you can never triumph against us. Ojukwu said it before. And you said he failed. We know why he failed, because God said the time wasn't right. I want to show them, my children, what is called Biafra, that very kingdom. They have to fight their way into it. If that is the option you leave for us, then by all means, we will oblige you. But Biafra must come, or we all die. It's as simple as that. There's no alternative. People must understand the rage that is boiling within us. You must understand how angry we are. We may look normal to you, but we are very, very angry, believe you me. And by the time we are done with Nigeria, the name won't exist. That I can assure you. You people are now beginning to see the type of madness that we are capable of unleashing. And more is coming. And I do not hide it, because you hate us anyway. This conspiracy against Biafra, for no reason, we've done nothing wrong to anyone. But you despise us and you hate us. You want us to die because God gave us oil and gas. You want to take over our land. It's not going to happen. I will not apologize. I'm not begging anybody to please read this letter. They are raping our women. They raped our women. Did you do anything about it? They went to the UK High Commissioner. They were telling them, oh, we can't do anything about it. Rape victims. But you're doing something about defending Fulani. You are defending Fulani. But rape victims in front of you cannot defend them. And you're neutral. And you want Nigeria to continue. So you want me to stay in a Nigeria where my women will be raped every day. Nobody will do anything about it. And I'll be clapping for you. One Nigeria, I'll be clapping for you. Take a bubble knock. Mad people everywhere. People are insane. You want me to stay in a country where the Fulani police and soldiers can come and take our women, rape them anyhow they like. Even before they release them, they charge them. Do you know how much we have spent? We have spent nearly 9 million naira to secure the release of people who were abducted and raped, victims of state crime. Britain didn't say anything. The UN never uttered a word. EU, nothing. US, nothing. And you want me to be in that country? I think some people are mad. Very, very insane indeed. If you do not believe in what we are doing, then better get out. We're not going to stop. God knows we can never stop until Biafra is restored. We are peace-loving people. We abhor death and killing of another soul. It's in our nature, that's how we are. And because of that, they have been coming and killing us all these years. We've kept quiet. They've been killing and killing and killing quiet. We have a case at the ICC. We have a case at African Union. We have a case of, what else again? Pending before the UN in New York. We've been to Geneva to tender our case. Before UN, till today, nothing. In fact, the more we complain to them, the more they come to abduct and rape our children, the more they come to kill us, the more they want to take over our land and our forests. And who told them that's going to be possible in our time? In a time, in a movement that I lead, you think you can come into our land and take it over? Oh dear, that means you don't know who we are. 30 pastors arrested for doing nothing. Have you heard about any imams being arrested in the north? No. Do you want me to stay in one Nigeria with you after this level of injustice? Is that what you think? No, it is not going to happen. Not now, not tomorrow. There are two things plaguing them in the zoo: lies and deceit. If not for the coming of IPOB, of Radio Biafra, all of you would have lived and died in the ignorance that Ojukwu caused a war. That's what they were writing. Britain helped them to write it. Ojukwu was a rebel, a secessionist, because we had no media. That is why they're paying Facebook billions upon billions of US dollars to stop this truth from coming out. Did Ojukwu cause any war? No one is alive, go and ask him. Did Ojukwu cause any war? Ojukwu went and negotiated restructuring with you in Aburi. You came back, Britain told you not to agree because Britain realized that all the component units of Britain knows that if you go back to regionalism, you will have economic growth. The country will do very well. But Britain doesn't want it. That was why they even instigated the Nzobuku, so-called Nzobuku, saying they will bring Awolowo to become the head of state. They knew what was going to happen. They wanted to truncate the economic miracle of Dr. Michael Opara. I'm telling you, are fast, go and investigate for yourself. In the East, you had the fastest growing economy in the whole world, over 40% every year. In the West, Awolowo was performing his own miracle as well. Even in the North, Ahmadu Bello and Tafawa Balewa were doing very well. You had all those massive industries in the North. You even had Alamajiris that were employed in the North, meaningfully employed, gainfully employed. They were all doing very well. Britain said, no, for us to control these people, we need to impoverish them. Let us introduce this war. That was in Kuba in Zoro. And after
yeah, veteran. Say, they kill us because God gives us oil and gas. That is the reason the Britain, the Nigerian government, the ECOWAS, and all of the rest of the conspirators. The reason They invade our land, Biafra land, killing our people, raping our women, adopting whoever they want to adopt, is because God has given us, blessed us with natural oil and gas, with the inclusion of other mineral resources. Does that mean that God made any mistake to bless us with natural resources? Or is it that there are things we as people should be doing that we have failed to be doing, that had granted these devourers the access to hijack our resources, and beyond that, to be killing our people? What is really wrong? Veterans speak about it. He said, we are peaceful people, but they don't want us to enjoy our peace. Speak about that.
Thank you, Enima.
God bless you. Really good.
How can we ask God questions? God does these things, and He alone knows the why and how. If God blessed us, we should be able to be custodians of our blessings. But because we leave our blessings to go follow, then the devil will come and fight it. The so-called the trickish and the cunning people, trickish and cunning, the Western world, they are so trickish and cunning that very greedy, criminal-minded people. They are those who reap where they do not sow. They are whiskers of blessing. This is why they came to the land full of milk and honey. They changed the narratives of our people. Our narrative, they changed it. They exchanged what God gave us with a man-made gift. They came and twisted every wonderful gift God gave us, including our mentality, including our appetite, including our desires. Every good thing God gave us, they exchange it for their own interest. And this was why when they were coming to exploit us, to take away all these things, they came with the brandy, they came with the hot drinks, they came with their fake food. And our people, as stupid as we are, as stupid as Esau, preferred these things to the natural things God gave us. Before the Western people came, our people were living up to 200 years. 100 and before they go to meet their ancestors. But as they came to exchange our life with death, we allowed them, we gave them the go-ahead to come and exploit everything. We even joined them. We even supported them. Those of us that also are greedy, because it is not all in Israel that are Israelites. They exchanged our democracy for anarchy and the feudalism. We were peace-loving people. And for this reason, they penetrated. Because if we were not peace-loving, they wouldn't have penetrated at all. They wouldn't have bought as many as they bought, and as many as they are still buying today. Because we can see that the whole thing is still going on today. Buying and selling of individuals who they plant, who they use, because they have always used us to destroy us. What a stupid race. Our leader, Martin Nnamdi Kanu, made it very clear to us. Like the Roman adage said, we cannot be parading ourselves as peace-loving when we are not prepared for war. Like my sister, Patricia, chipped in John the Baptist and the word he left with us. That only the violent can take what belongs to him. So because they saw we are peace-loving people, we are not violent, they treacherously came in, cunningly came in, criminally came in to take away all that belongs to us and continue to take it away. And we continue to support them to take it away. The criminal-minded one. You can imagine ECOWAS or AU going to EU to complain and to invite them to come and destroy their people, to come and destroy their brothers, because they are so afraid that what happened to Niger, what happened to Mali, what happened to Gabon, what happened to Burkina Faso is still coming to them, because it is spreading and it will never stop. It is a wildfire, because they have robbed us enough. They have pauperized us enough. Look at the picture of Niger. Look at the picture of Zoo. Look at the picture of Africans whom they exploit, take away what belongs to us, uranium, petroleum, whatever, all the God-given resources. They carry them away, and if you open your mouth, you become a victim. Our leader said, no way, we cannot continue to be victims. We also have to be aggressors. We have to meet them on equal ground, on equal terms. If they kill us, we kill them. We have to fight for what belongs to us. We cannot fold our hands to watch them continue in this mess. African leaders have to go to EU. But when Gaddafi was killed, they never said anything. African leaders were there, watching the Western world destroy Gaddafi. It doesn't matter how many years he ruled, but his people were comfortable. They were happy with him. They never rebelled because he was sharing the resources accordingly to all of them. They had good hospitals, good roads, good schools. They were never doing menial jobs. It was we that were doing menial jobs in Libya. He has a very wonderful plan for this idiot who called themselves African leaders. He had wonderful plans for Africa. And enemies of unity conspired and took him away. And we are still folding our hands, watching these enemies to continue to kill us with their slaves, the politicians, the Fulanis, to continue to watch Britain go with their submarines to loot us dry. And the zoo will say, they never saw anything because they were put there specifically to do their bidding. How can you fight the finger that bites you? If you go for loan every day to EU, go for loan every day to the US, go for loan every day to the UK, how can you work against them? As many citizens as they ask you to slaughter them. Now they want to reduce the population. They handpick those that will do the service for them, like they are doing in the zoo. But revolution must take place. Revolution must take place. That's the only solution we have. Revolution. Guide your loins. Guide your loins. This generation of the youth, of BIAFRA. How can you stay in one country with these people who rape you, who pauperize you? Our girls will finish education, they go for Alhaji. They become sex toys to the Alhajis. And they make fun of them. To me, ma'am, to me, you don't see that Ngozi. That Ngozi. So that Ngozi. Tell her to come and see me in the office. And that is the life you want to live, dear friends. Chukudi. You become a servant to Alhaji. He's your godfather. Just like Awolowo was the godfather of the so-called Ohaneze Onyoshi Iwanyangu. Nda goziri agozi Biafrans. created us beautifully and wonderfully well, with the high IQ, fortified us with every talent and gift, and yet we continue to insult God. That is the parable of the talent. God shared it. Our own, we cannot use our talent. We simply we allow ourselves to be deceived. We allow ourselves to be tricked. I said it before. I must be Biafra so that I can go and announce it to all my brothers and sisters who died since the amalgamation of the zoo. To all that died of Pashoko, of bomb shells, of fighters and jets, of hunger, of everything. I will go and announce to them that that thing you died for, I saw it before I came. So this generation of Biafrans, remember our leader said he will not disappoint you. Do not disappoint him and do not disappoint God. Simon Ikpa, I am calling on you to fortify, to increase, like what is that name? Increase the fire of the three Jewish guys. What is the name of that Nebuchadnezzar? Oh,
yeah, Nebuchadnezzar against Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
And the other one against Daniel.
Daniel in the
increase the fire 7 times. But unfortunately, the fire they increased had to consume them. But in our case, our fire, Simon Ekpa, this fire will consume our enemies, consume these politicians, consume these slave masters, consume these colonialists that does not say anything, that conspire to kill us. When our people were killed, when we die, we become victims. Imagine the idiot who is supposed to be the Secretary of State of America talking about Niger. They are rebels. They should be eliminated. But all that is happening in Africa, all the deaths every day, he never opened his mouth to say something. Imagine the ambassador of America, which our leader referred to, talking about whatever. But he has been there. He has never opened his mouth to talk against the Fulani. And we are here watching. We Biafrans, the Biafrans, this age of Biafrans, we are there watching, wanting to belong to a mess, to a street road. One Nigeria. Thank you very much.
God bless you, really good. God bless you. It is all about the manipulation. We are talking about exploitation, humiliation, intimidation. That is with what the world is being ruled. They call themselves whatever organization or any nation they choose to be, but there is no truth in their mouth. They are hypocritical And that is the reason they do not like what we are doing as IPOB, the indigenous people of Biafra, which has affected many millions of others in Africa, and we can see people beginning to come back to their senses, but they are trying to clamp the people down. God must surely clamp them down because they are satanic, they are the evil. Mama Patricia, I'm waiting for you. Mama Patricia, here are you. Are you prepared? Say, we have cases in EU, in UN, in ICC, all of the so-world authority. You are the so-called the organization made for what do they call it? What community? All this a global community. Global community, yes. They call it global community. What are they communicating? What makes it global? When justice cannot, but they are organized, deceiving us to believe that they fight for human rights, they fight for the well-being of human affairs, and with justice and equity. Then we are recently beginning to discover that these are the people who have duped us to make us believe that we are in a democratic organization with them, whereby they just use the name democracy, but what they are really practicing is hypocrisy. That is dictatorship in hypocrisy. So, why we have cases in all of these places? Why are they not speaking? And if we have been wrong all this while, why do you think they have not just proved us wrong? Also, for the fact they have not proved us wrong means we are right. I also have made a video when CNN, the broadcasting platform belonging to them, say that what we are doing are legal. Then, since we are legal and we are right, why have they not given us of our freedom? What are they waiting for? And why have they not intervened to release Mass and they can? Why are they keeping quiet? Do they have any interest in the suffering we are suffering and the Operation IPOB members being killed for demanding for our freedom and the freedom of our people? These are what we are going to talk about. Then also talk about 30 pastors arrested, no imam was arrested. They are talking about religious, if they are talking about handling religious problems. Okay, let us accept that religions or whatever have been the problem of the society in Nigeria, so to say. Then, are they fighting against the religion or are they fighting against the Christian pastors? Why should they arrest the Christian pastors and do not arrest imams and do not arrest the traditional worshippers and the rest, the Buddhists, Hindus, all of those people, they never arrested them. What kind of partiality is that? And which way forward can we go with this? Mama Patricia, speak.
Thank you.
God bless you, really good.
Yeah, whatever our prophet Onyendu says or have said is just gospel. They know it. He says it before them because we listened to just the clip you played. He said there in this clip you played, cut it and send it to them, that he knows that they are listening. It's not that they are not listening. They are listening very well, putting down everything he's saying. And they know that this man is more than they can chew. They know it. So the only way they can clamp him down is just this thing that the British terrorist government did, conniving with Kenya, the same African stooges that doesn't know what is good for them, to kidnap him and rendition him as to close his mouth. But they have made a very big mistake, because there is no way you can imprison air or imprison spirit or imprison light. These three things plus truth, you can't imprison it. How many times and decades has the world government tried to clamp down, even using the name of Jesus or Christianity? Let's just not go into it deeply, because of we know what is going on. But have they succeeded? The more they kill the apostles and the followers of Christ not to preach the name Jesus, the more it's going everywhere. The more people are seeing light. So it's the same thing. The more these Europeans or Western terrorists, creators and supporters, they know that they are looters, they know that they are evil, the more they try to put Africans in the position that they want them to be, using everything in their nation, including now they have gone so far to now they are harvesting them, because they are demons, you know, beast demons. And unless we make ourselves, like Jesus was saying, for a strong man to go on into a kingdom of another strong man, he must be a strong man himself to be able to destroy it. If we don't make ourselves strong with truth, because Master have given us all that it takes to dismantle, to demolish this kingdom of darkness that is affringing us. If we don't go with truth, with passion, with the same spirit, you know, the spirit of Elijah fell on Elisha, double portion. If we don't get exactly the same, then Mazi said we'll be going around the mountain like the Israelites for another 40 years, which will not be, there's no time for us to do that. No time, absolutely. So, you see, Mazi came up and said to them so many things that is happening, but they didn't mind him, until the same God that called him said, "My son, I'm giving you the strategy that you will take." And when God led Mazi to bring in the ESN, they now knew that if they don't do something, they are gone. They decided to do what they did. But still, they have made the greatest mistake, because in putting him in that place, the Africans have awakened. The black cloths covering them has been removed forcefully, because they were listening to Mazi. I was following one young man from Gambia, who says from the time Mazi was speaking that he calls Mazi His Excellency, his president. And I'm sure he was a true disciple of Mazi, because he has caught the fire. Mazi preached not only to Biafra, not only to the zoo, to save the Fulani, even them, the Yoruba, the Middle Belt and Biafran in particular. He came for the whole African race, black race, so that they will be removed from the shackles of the Western world. Because Mazi said, if Biafra doesn't come, the dignity of a black man will still be worse than it were in the yesteryears. But because God has sent him at the right time, all those things will be restored. Because nobody gave the Western world the audacity, the authority, the legal right to do what they are doing. That is why the Prime Minister of Biafra said that in the coming weeks, we are going to delegitimize Nigerian function in Biafra land. And I concur to that. They have no right. Not even their Western terrorist founders. Not even them. They may claim they have all the weapons. It doesn't matter. It doesn't mean those who have the weapon wins in the war. The war belongs to God, and He giveth it to those who are in terms with Him. That is why the Biafrans must wake up to fight this beast. We must make ourselves even more bestial than them, as to fight them. I saw, I think yesterday or 2 days ago, in England, it should be, a young man was preaching, and a Muslim man came up and was giving him a very fastidious, tormenting him, shouting on his face, taking his things, wanting to break it, and telling this young man preaching not to preach in the name of Jesus. He should be in Allah Kuba Kuba. He was shouting that. Do you know that the policeman came and just touched the Muslim man at the back and left his way? And when I saw it, I said, that is it. That is it. Because this global terrorist group, all they want to install in the world is evil, abominable, wickedness. That's all they want to install. Anything good they don't want to see. And except the good men do something, except we all get up and start talking and start acting, we will be all men most miserable. Everything God has given to us, they have taken it. And they still carry on to do what they are doing and refusing to leave the things that they have taken more than enough. That is the one that angers me more. And upon that, there are stooges that they put in place. Imagine the leaders of the stooges that they put in African nations. Look at them one by one. Some of them are weeing in their pants. Some of them, some have Alzheimer's. Some are paralyzed. Some are seriously sick, old. Tell me why these people would leave such a people around, if not to continue to put Africa under their foot. If somebody like a Tifnubu, that says it's their turn to rule, which Mazi told us earlier, if people are wise, they should start acting the right way now. Because everything the master, everything our leader said, our prophet said, is gospel. And that is why he normally tells us, write it down, so that you will not say I didn't tell you. Write it down, because it's going to be so. If Tifnubu was in the European country or anywhere, would somebody like Tifnubu come to lead in anything itself, talk less of president? They will not allow. He will be in the prison by now. He will be in jail by now. Everything he stole will be confiscated. But they allowed him to be, knowing fully well, even though Obi and all of them, they are in the same quagmire, they are in the same business. We know that. But still, they are even afraid to give it to Obi, because as far as Biafra man is concerned, they want to be scamming and using them as a ball game and nothing more. And when Mazu was telling these people, the so-called Igbo men in the top, come and join us and do what we are doing, and let's get out of this place quickly, they stiffened their ears and their neck. They thought that Mazi was playing. Now, as Mazi said, not just going to serve the zoo and come back in shame, no, because they are not coming back anywhere. These men, if we don't treat them, they are Fonjas generation, with the Ifajunas generation, with the Nnayamodo generation. They are still cropping up. So the best thing we are going to do is to cleanse the house. Cleanse it. That point whereby the Western world has put them to be their watchdog, we go there and get that person, man or woman, whoever it is, no mercy, and delete the person, so that the ones who knows what God has instructed us to do will keep the land of Biafra clean, so that we can enjoy what God has given to us. But if we continue to say, this is my brother, this is my sister, this is my this, and be, you know, worshiping the evil, then even after we get Biafra, they will still go on to subtract it, subvert it. So we are going to show these men that we have risen up, we have waken up. That's why everybody should put down his ego, put down your wickedness, put down your mindset. Mazi said we have to defend Biafra at all costs. Biafra is our religion. Biafra is our identity. Biafra is what God has given to us to keep. And if we don't keep it, woe betide us. When Esau didn't keep his own, was he blessed? No. So we have to fight for this thing and get us from whatever reserve we have put in place. If we don't act quickly now, the speed with which these terrorist sponsors and creators are coming, nothing will be left. We are not afraid of the war, like Malema was telling the Western counterpart or white people in their own South Africa, because they hate to hear the truth. They were debating, and Malema was saying things that are not right to be put in place. You know, you put your reason, another person put reason. Who sees the right reason? Let it go. No, the white man said that if it is war, they are going to war. And Malema said, I am not running away from the war. We accept it. Come, we are ready. So instead of them to accept what they know that they cannot change, they want to do it by force, by intimidation, by calling on everyone, come, bring your warship, let's go and crush them. It's not going to be, because this is the time that God has appointed for these things happening to be. Because God even announced it in Matthew. At the end time, remember Matthew said, Biafra will be the last miracle on earth, and Biafra must come. So the Bible that said at the end time, there will be wars and rumors of wars. Are we not seeing the war? So because there will be war and rumors, so we should go and hide out. Why don't they go and face Russia? All of them, America, Britain, and so on. They cannot go to Russia, they can't go to Japan, they can't go to China or whatnot. Because those people are ready for them. Now they want to relax and bask in Africa, because the stooges that they have appointed, some of them that we in their trousers, some of them that cannot even lift their hand, some of them that cannot more reason because Alzheimer's diseases has caught up on them with their wickedness. They still want them to be, because with such people, they can go on to kill, harvest human organs, and steal, and then they'll come and bring aid. Which aid? Who cares for aid from the Western world? Who cares? That aid you're bringing is still the money. It's just like Mazu normally tells us, you steal the money from Biafra land, and then you bring it for aid for Biafran people. Is it not double fooling, double stupidity? So it's time we rise up now All the saboteurs, every of them that have the Fulani DNA in their blood, your names are being put down. Your names with your generation. Don't think it's just you. Anybody that have associated with all the saboteurs in the DOS, in the political realm, in the Ohanezes, in the governors, in the chiefs and whatever businessmen like Ifeanyi Uba and the rest of them that sold our leader. Not just you will be caught. Everything that associates with you. Those that ate the money together and enjoyed with you together. Your names are written. And we bet you that it's not just Biafrans after you, because we are going to pay the past, the present, and the future of what you have committed. Not just us, but Elohim that says there will be no peace for the wicked. None of you will escape. And these the stooges that are now calling for European Union, just as Mazi Veteran was saying it, the ones they put in Biafra land will go to Astor Rock to call them to come and kill their people. While the same cold crime people in their party are protecting their own. Why didn't the Fulanis allow Nigeria, Tinubu, to go to war against Niger? Because that's where they came from. That's where they came from. They don't want their own people to be killed. They want to secure them so that they can now come to a larger ground. But Biafra, we're not going to take it. Mazi is not in the prison there, suffering for over 2 years plus, when the Western world knows that he did nothing, but they all shut their mouth and put it Tinubu so that the remaining oil and everything will be scattered out, including human beings. And you think Mazi is there for being there? Mazi is there staging them because the fire is going underground, reaching everywhere. They cannot escape it this time, because this is the time appointed. No matter what they do, if the Cameroonian life, let them reshuffle their military men. If the one at what is it, Ethiopia or whatever, if he likes, Rwanda. If he likes, let him reshuffle his own. As many of them, you cannot do anything more, because the time is right for the indigenous to flush out every evil before the coming of the end of the world, the coming of the Lord comes. Thank you, Collins.
God bless you. Our time is fast spent, and we are to close on time today. So, dear friends, it is about this intimidation, humiliation, selfish aggrandizement we are talking about. Now, Patricia, be prepared to present the memory verse of the day, and that will be brief as we are about to close. That will be the more we complain, the more they oppress us. That means they have no intention to release us for any reason, and they want us to keep quiet and keep dying in silence. That has been their intention. That is the reason. The more we complain, the more they oppress us, abducting our people, raping our women, and asking, what shall we do? Lies and deceit plague them in Nigeria. The lies and the deceit they have been using is now plaguing them. It is backfiring on them. They profiled Ojukwu as causing the war when he never caused the war. So Biafrans, the world at large, those you believe to be the UN, you believe to be your European Union, you believe to be whatever ICC, you call them BBC, whatever. All these people are serpents. They are serpents with serpentine tongue. They are hypocritical. They are devourers who disguise themselves. These are the people with the spirit of the serpent that beguiled Adam and Eve, deceiving them and pulling them from their God-given opportunities, blessings, driving them away, that deceiving them that they become in enmity with God, and that cost them the privilege, the opportunity, all of the resources which God has given to them to enjoy and only to worship Him. So these people do not want the enjoyment, the pleasure of others, because they are satanic. They are not just mere human beings, they are occultic. So they go about deceiving, destroying, and their highest intention is to have rule over the innocent and the genuine people of this earth. That is exactly what they did to Adam and Eve, because they were so envious and jealous of Adam and Eve, and they could not bear to endure it and remain subject to Adam and Eve, which God had given authority to rule over them. Then they have to trick them and bring them even to their level and defeat them with experience. And that is how many of humanity are subject to all these demonic agents. But now we are reviving the system so that we know our God-given privileges, opportunities, and never be mesmerizing with them. Mama Patricia, are you set? Are you set? Let us round up. Present us the memory verse of the day so we can round up the program for today. So may God bless you. Tell me the verse while I read.
Please, I've sent you the verse. Did you see it?
Okay, yeah, let me check. Yes, I can see it. That Ecclesiastes 3, 1 to 8. Okay, here we go. Ecclesiastes 3, 1 to 8. To everything there is a season and a time for every matter or purpose under heaven. A time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to pluck up what is planted, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to get and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to cast away, a time to rend and a time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time for war and a time for peace.
All right. Thank you, Collins.
God bless you.
We have come to the end of our today's Sunday School interactive on this platform, Truth Bearers, bearing and keeping the word of truth which our leader handed down to us and obliged us to preach it, to continue hitting the hammer, not stop, not going back. Because this truth, weapon, bullets, anything that the enemy has cannot overpower it, because that truth is God Himself. And that is the truth that we have been using and will continue to use until every enemy disappears from the presence of our land and from the presence of God's children and life. Today, we are really have little time. So at your own covenant time, when you meet with this broadcast, share it and read for yourself these verses. But I'm going to take only one verse out of it because of our time, and that is in verse 8, where it says, a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. That is exactly the area I'm looking at. A time of war. Our veteran here and our Mazi Onyendu, His Excellency Ohamadike of Biafra, have been using this word. He said, if you're looking for peace, then you must be ready for war. Because if you don't fight your enemies to the core, they will not come to have peace with you. We saw it in the stories of the Israelites and other countries. If you don't show them what you are, what you have, they will not back off. They will not give you respect. your integrity, your dignity will be gone for life. But when you stand up, even to the hell itself, death itself, and let them know that the only one that one cannot conquer is God. Every other thing can be conquered. And nobody can prove immunity to defeat or to death or to whatever. So with what these Europeans, Western world are showing to Africans, they don't know that God has stipulated times and seasons to everything that exists in this life to play their role. In their insatiable gluttony, looting, and wickedness, they don't know that the appointed time for those who have been downtrodden, who has been robbed, who has been maimed, who has been humiliated, they don't know that their time for them to rise up has come. And they are still in their foolishness and stupidity. Like when Samson in the Bible, when his power was taken away from him, and he didn't know. He wanted to do as he used to do before. And when he tried it, he fell. He fell. So the same thing is going to happen, and it's happening. And that is the era that we are in. This era is the era of war. So we are not here to preach. Because if you think we are preaching peace, we have been preaching peace for all generations. And these people who think that peace is not their business have been using it to be killing us. Now we have to tell them that, is it war you want? Let's have it. So here says a time of war and a time of peace. So it's also when you have had the war and have it real good, that all the partners, those who survive, will just move to their own area and stay. So Biafrans, as we are heading towards that, you know, they have been having the war, but they have been softly having it, because they know who Biafrans are. And as we are keeping quiet, so to say, sleeping, so to say, they have been coming in softly, killing and breeding their sabotage children in our midst. And it's making it more difficult for us. So we have to get up now, door to door, street to street, village to village, house to house. Everybody know that we are in the war now. This is a time of war. It's after the war that you have peace. And in this war, you know what your own is. You know what your right is. Not against your brother or sister, against your enemies. Your war to beat your enemies. Your war to beat to the saboteurs, their stooges that they have sent in. Those that they breeded and they gave them Igbo names and put them in the villages and give them one position or the other, commissioner or this or that. We'll flush all of them out. And we'll be getting ready for the Western world to come, because this is not their time anymore. This is the time appointed by God. And we are going to fight it to the end, because they are human like we are. The battle and those who win, the victory, belongs to God to give to whoever he will give to. But we have to march on with boldness, knowing who we are. Because we did not ask for anybody's country. We didn't go to steal anybody's minerals. It's our own land. So being our own land, being that we are legitimate, God cites those who are fighting a just cause. So do not be afraid or scared. Get up from every fear around you and let's fight squarely, boldly, as our leader told us, to these enemies around us. Anywhere you see them, nobody should leave one. So that is the key point. Join your sister, join your brother, join your neighbor, join your street people anywhere and fight them. Because you see that the glory of God in you will put fear in them. Thank you. Until next week. God bless you, dear friends. Get ready for the 3 week sit at home.
God bless you, great Biafrans. Wave bye to Biafrans, wave bye to Africans, and wave bye to all of us of freedom all over the world as we'll meet with you again coming next week, starting